Hello, everyone. Welcome to my newest psychic reading on Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz. I hope you all are doing well. I'm Lamarr Townsend. If you're new to my channel, I'm a psychic, a tarot reader, and an astrologer. I'm also a medium and an energy channeler. If you would like your own personal reading from me, I am available for readings today, right now. So if you contact me right now, if you text me, you can text me. The link is, or the number is here, as well as here on this uh, flyer with Cleopatra right here. You can text me at 703-791-9162. I do have WhatsApp for international clients as well. You can also email me at lamar.townsend@gmail.com. However, the best place to reach me is to just visit my website, lamartownsendtarot.com. Once you reach this page, you know you're on the right page. This is my website, lamartownsendtarot.com. You can scroll down and read reviews from people who have purchased readings from me already. You can also follow me down here on Instagram and Facebook where I post as well, separate from YouTube. If you would also like a reading from me, you would go right to the store section of my website. This is where you would go to view all the rates, services, products, classes, candles, different types of things I offer. I do offer phone readings, I offer email readings, I also offer video recorded readings where you send your questions. After your payment, of course, following directions, make sure you read the directions. And then after you've sent your questions, I do your reading. I record myself doing your reading and then email you that video download link to keep within 1 to 4 days after you have submitted your payment and your questions. Okay. I do also birth chart readings as well as compatibility and individual birth chart readings. I also do offer candles, including custom candles, protection candles, success and finances candles, success and love candles. I also do offer mediumship readings as well as past life readings. If you want to do a reading without the cards, which would be a mediumship reading. If you want to learn about your past lives, which would be a past life reading. I offer classes, tarot classes, astrology classes, spiritual development classes, and so much more. So if you'd be interested in any of these things, then definitely check out my website, lamartownsendtarot.com. And here we are to do another reading on Jamie Foxx. Now, you guys will have to bear with me. I really don't want this reading to be too long because I do have a client to get to actually right about now. But I wanted to kind of pump this reading out really quickly and not wait too long in the day when I'm probably a bit tired. So I wanted to go ahead and get this reading over with and see what is going on. What's the energy around Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx? Now, if you don't know, I've done a few readings on Jamie at this point, so check out all the other readings I've done. I've done a reading on him and his daughter. I've done a reading on him and King Charles and Queen Camilla. We've done a lot on this channel. If you don't know, he was filming a movie with Cameron Diaz, but this is the movie also where he got sick on. So, of course, Cameron Diaz's name is coming up, and I just want to see what the energy around Cameron and Jamie is involving this situation. So, let's go ahead and get into it. First thing I'm going to do is cleanse the energies with a singing bowl. Thank you, Spirit, for opening up the channel so that I can connect with what's going on with Jamie Foxx. Thank you for protecting my energy, my thoughts, my mind, and my emotions. Thank you for protecting those watching this video. Thank you for providing clarity and insight. In the name of the Mother, the Daughter, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen, amen, amen. All right. I am hot. I want to turn the air on, but I don't want it to mess with the sound, so we are just going to go with it. Let's go ahead and tap into the energy and see what's going on with Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz. All right, let's see what's going on with these two. Okay, the first thing I'm seeing is I feel like I'm seeing a winged goddess. It kind of looks to me like Isis, like the goddess Isis, who's a winged goddess. But I don't know why, as I breathe out, the first thing I'm seeing is a winged goddess. I feel like this is connected to Cameron Diaz. I actually found out recently that through a friend or friends that Cameron Diaz is part Hispanic or Latina. So I found that interesting because not all Hispanic or Latina people, but a lot, quite a few. For example, when you go to a lot of Hispanic or Latina grocery stores, they usually sell candles. They usually sell spiritual stuff. It may be a small section, but it's usually a section, which means that magic, spirituality is very heavily ingrained in some way, shape, or form to the Hispanic and Latino culture. Hispanic and Latino people let me know. I've dated quite a few Hispanic and Latin men. I've had a lot of Hispanic and Latin friends over the years. So, and I also still right now have Latin and Hispanic friends, men and women. So I think I know what I'm talking about. But validate in the comment section below if you are part of those cultures with this kind of energy. All right. So once again, I tap in. You know my breathing exercise. I always breathe deep when I tap in, and of course that's the first thing I see. So okay. I thought it was a winged goddess, but I'm thinking it might be a winged god. And it kind of looks like I don't know why I'm seeing this all of a sudden. It looks like I don't know if this is like Payman, who's actually a demon. I don't know if it's I think it may or may not be a real demon, but it was I think that's the name of the demon in the movie Hereditary, and it looks like that demon. It's winged. Or there's a Sumerian, I don't know if I want to call it a demon or deity, that's also winged, that is associated with kind of like demonic activity as well. And then there's also the Exorcist. I think isn't the Exorcist's demon called Payman? So I'm kind of seeing that energy. So I just first of all need to cover myself in the blood of Jesus in the name of the Mother, the Daughter, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Thank you for protecting my energy, my thoughts, my mind, and my emotions, my space, my body, those that inhabit this apartments and their bodies, their minds, their spaces and their energies. In the name of Jesus, I pray and I thank you. I rebuke any demons, any negativity, and may it not linger in this house, and it cannot stay in this house. Amen, 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 and amen. I had to shake the devil off real quick, y'all. All right. Ooh, all right. Let's get back into it, honey. Then I'm seeing like an explosion. So that could mean a couple things. That could mean maybe the prayer itself that we just did something in terms of exploding and removing any blockages there, or once again this could be metaphoric. Let's just tap in again. I feel like I'm seeing something scenic. I feel like it's almost like I'm seeing the sun. I don't know if the sun is rising or setting. I feel like once again I'm in Cameron Diaz's energy. I feel like Cameron I see Cameron sitting down. It's like she's kind of sitting and it looks like she's sitting on a terrace, I guess you could say, or a balcony. And she's smoking something. I don't know if this is a cigarette or a joint, but I feel like she's smoking something. I feel like it could be a joint. And she's just kind of looking at the sun set or rise. I'm not sure which one. Because they both kind of look the same at a certain angle and moment. Um, and I feel like also in a foreign country. Now I know that they once again filmed part of this movie in London, but I don't know if this is London because I feel like I'm on a terrace or I'm on a balcony, but I almost want to say like it's made of like sand or it's made of like something you would find in like I don't want to say a third world country, but in a country like Egypt or Greece, where there's buildings and properties that have been built for thousands and thousands of years and they still retain that kind of essence of they didn't have certain materials back then in ancient times, but the fact that what they did build in ancient times still remain intact today is kind of very interesting. So anyways, I see her in this kind of environment. Like I feel like she's in Greece. I don't necessarily feel like she could be in Egypt, although maybe I feel like she's more like in Greece or something like that because I keep getting the energy of Greece. And it's kind of like she's in her own vibe, her own moment. I see her getting a phone call. I see her like picking up her phone. It's like she looks at the phone. I feel like she's excited to hear from this person. I feel like she hasn't heard from this person in a while. I'm wondering if this person is Jamie or who this could be. Um, she picks up the phone. I literally see her look at the phone. Let me reenact what I'm seeing. It's like she's smoking her joint, looking at the sunset. Oh, it's so beautiful, you know. And then her phone rings. She pulls it out of her pocket. She looks down at the phone. It's like, oh my god, I haven't heard from this person in a while. Click, hello. Like that's how I see her in my mind's eye. Um, Very performative, I know, but I just wanted to show you all what I see. Um, and I feel like I don't think the other person on the other side of the phone from Cameron is Jamie. I think it may be someone connected to Jamie. Like I almost feel like this is the beginnings of her. Like I feel like this is a call in reference to this movie that they were filming, her and Jamie. I feel like the person on the other phone is more like an assistant or maybe like a casting director or an assistant to a casting director. Like it's someone who has Cameron's contacts. Because I feel like they've worked on a project together before. So I see Cameron having this conversation. Now I see her get up. She's like on the phone, pacing back and forth, very animated. Um, and then I hear her say sure, and then I hear her say I'll think about it. Like I hear her say sure, I'll think about it, kind of thing. But I feel like there's an energy of at one point she said sure, and then I feel like for some reason towards the end of the phone call it became I'll think about it. Like maybe she was gung ho and like excited and all about it at first, but then for some reason towards the end of the phone call it became I don't know. You know, this sounds may sound. I like feel from her energy. It was like this may sound too good to be true. Like I've been excited about projects before, and it didn't turn into anything. Like I don't want to get my hopes up. Like there's something with that. It was also said that she was in retirement prior to her deciding to do this movie. So I feel like that phone call comes in, and I see her whatever conversation they had in that phone call. I see her thinking about it for the next several days or weeks. And as I said that, literally, I just got a message on my phone. Did you all hear that? That's confirmation. All right. Um, I do feel like at one point her and Jamie did talk, but I almost feel like it was by Cameron's request. Like I feel like Cameron Diaz may have requested to like speak with Jamie. Like let me speak with Jamie, kind of thing. Because I literally hear someone calling her and being like, Jamie wants you on this project. So I don't know if initially necessarily Jamie reached out to Cameron. I don't know why I feel like someone reached out to Cameron first and then Jamie came into the picture. And I feel like also when Cameron was asked about this movie, she was like on vacation or something, or like doing her own thing. I feel like I don't know. I also see like a documentary associated with Cameron Diaz. So I don't know if she's done a documentary recently, or if she'll do a documentary moving forward in the future. I feel like this is kind of like a Netflix documentary or something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be on Netflix, although I do hear Hulu. Um, but it kind of gives me the energy of like, what's her name, Chelsea Handler, like on the vibes of like Chelsea Handler or something Chelsea Handler would do, or maybe Chelsea Handler will make an appearance, something like that. Um, who's I used to love the Chelsea Lately show. I miss that show so much. Um, who I feel like Cameron or Jamie probably were on that show too at some point. I'm here. I literally just heard Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels. So maybe there's also something coming up with Charlie's Angels, and then I hear 2024. So Yeah, I feel like there could be something with Charlie's Angels coming up soon with Cameron. Just as a side note. Because you know she was in Charlie's Angels with Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu. I love those movies, by the way, growing up. I feel like they could add a new character, though. I don't know why I see a black woman. Um, then I hear the word inclusive. Then I'm seeing a baby carriage. But once again, this could be connected to Charlie's Angels. I'm not sure. Alright, let's kind of steer back to Jamie and Cameron's spirit. Let's not get too far off track, if you don't mind. I see an elephant. Like, I feel like I'm in the jungle. I see giraffes. So I definitely get, like, this could be Africa or maybe Egyptian energy. I feel like there's something with Cameron's energy where this whole situation with her has kind of, especially with this being her first film after coming out of retirement, this whole situation has kind of left a bad taste in her mouth. And there's something where, like, I literally hear her saying, I didn't come out of retirement for this. Like, that's what I literally hear her saying. And I feel like there's almost like a strategy. Like, okay, like it's almost like I hear her saying, or I hear, like I can't go out on this note. So I feel like there's gonna be maybe several more projects to come for Cameron, just to wipe this bad taste out of her mouth of I didn't come out of retirement for this. Not saying she's putting the blame on Jamie or anything like that, because I feel like there's been other things behind the scenes that have probably annoyed her with filming this movie. But I also feel like she's annoyed or frustrated by the way the whole situation with Jamie has been handled. I also feel like to some degree she's grateful that she's been out of it or she hasn't been too pronounced in it. Like she's kind of taken a step back and been like, not my problem. I wish him well, love and light, but not my problem, in terms of the public kind of thing. Like, I don't want y'all coming after me, asking me a whole bunch of questions, saying I did it kind of thing. Like, or I participated. My hands are clean. I'm backing away kind of thing. Like, that's what I feel with her. um, because I feel like there's something where I actually see her behind the scenes trying to get in contact with Jamie. Then I see something about trying to get in contact with Jamie's team and maybe his daughter or his family. So I feel like she's trying to get her answers behind the scenes rather than making it a public spectacle, which I have to respect her for that, to be honest with you. I'm kind of digging Cameron's energy. I'm really liking Cameron after this reading. I really like her energy, actually. Um, like, I feel like she's not about the BS. She's not about the BS. Like, I feel like she's good at her job. She does her job, and she goes home. And the real Cameron is the one you see when she's home. When she has maybe a glass of wine, when she has a blunt or, a joint. I don't know what her thing is. But I feel like she smokes weed. I feel like she likes wine. I feel like she likes to be barefoot. Um, and I feel like she likes to laugh. And I feel like that's something her and Jamie have or had in common was that they both like to laugh. Like I feel like there's something where Jamie and Cameron go way back. So there is something, yes, where Jamie did bring Cameron out of the woodworks to do this movie. Um, but from Cameron's perspective, it was kind of the energy like based on this movie, like if it does really really well, and it's a high note, like I can go back in retirement, or like it was like there's something with her energy where it's like based on this movie, I'll figure out my next move. And with the way things have gone, it's like she's like, oh, now I got to figure out my next move, kind of thing. Because she knows how the industry works, and there's something where you don't want to leave on a sour note or with a bad taste in one's mouth. So it's almost like from a strategic PR stand of view or point of view, she has to do another project in order to wipe clean what happened with this project. So it's almost like she can go like she has to do another project, whether it be a film or whatever, it probably will be a film. So that also the public can see, it's not me. I told you my hands are clean. I'm not the problem. I can film a movie. I can film a good movie and be on set and there be no drama. Like that. That's not my story. It's like that kind of thing. Because once again, I hear that's how the industry works. Like I literally hear her saying, that's how the industry works. I feel like this whole situation definitely has stressed Cameron out. Like I feel like at one point she almost quit the movie especially after this whole situation with Jamie Foxx. There is a certain some people were kind of thinking maybe it was Cameron that like maybe did something to Jamie, or maybe she may have been a cause of maybe what happened to some degree. I don't get that energy. Like I don't pick that up, but there is something with Cameron where she does bring a certain essence with her wherever she goes, and she has strong, like very strong protection around her, like very strong spiritual protection. Um, and I think she's not easy to take down. She's not easy to manipulate or persuade or to become a puppet, so to speak. So I'm kind of wondering, was Jamie, this is hypothetical, quote unquote, all this is all alleged for YouTube entertainment purposes, was Jamie the easier target, allegedly? I don't think it's a matter of did Cameron do it, because I don't think she did it. I think it's a matter of maybe was it either going to be her or Jamie. And because once again Cameron brings a certain essence with her, she has very strong spiritual protection around her. She's once again not as easy. She's not easy to take down. Period. All right, or to manipulate, or to extrapolate, or you know what I'm saying, become a puppet. To do whatever the powers that be may want her to do. Like I literally hear her saying, "This is why I didn't want to come out of retirement. Like this is why I didn't want to work." Like I hear her literally saying, "There's always some There's always some bullshit." Like that's what I hear her saying. And I feel like Cameron has a core group of friends or support, like a core support system that also is very like enlightening for her or very grounding. I guess I could say for her. Where I feel like everyone around Cameron is saying you've got to put yourself first. You've got to put your career first. You can't let this set you back. Speaking of this whole situation with Jamie, you got to keep your hands clean. Like that's what I hear everyone saying. Like I don't know why I see her with Drew Barrymore. I see her with like a couple prominent people in the industry. Some we don't know. But I literally hear her having a conversation with like Drew Barrymore. I hear Drew telling her you've got to take your power back. I hear her saying stay out of it. I hear Drew saying like I literally hear her saying like be a support system, be a support, but otherwise stay out of it, kind of thing. Like I feel like they're giving Cameron the real. Like I feel like there's something where like I even hear, and this may be kind of harsh, some people may be upset at this, but I hear the words, "This is Jamie's fight, not yours." Because I do feel like there's something where Cameron feels bad, but it's like it kind of would be best for her to stay out of it for the sake of her career and her image and her not wanting to be bothered or, wanting to maintain her kind of peacefulness. So you kind of can't blame, whoever it is that's giving her this advice for giving her this advice. Because I feel like I don't know if she's made a statement, but I feel like otherwise she would have made a statement by now. So yeah, I don't think Cameron participated in anything that happened specifically to Jamie. I think the case of the matter was here. What it was either. Sorry for that. I think the case of the matter here is that it was either going to be allegedly. I'll say, it was either going to be her or Jamie because I think once again she has a strong spiritual protection, spiritual energy around her, but she also has a strong support system around her. She was the more difficult target. Jamie was the easier target. All right. So Cameron, if I were you, I would definitely be mindful and careful of this production company and the people specifically working on this film, and whether or not you want to pursue working with them moving forward. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and see what the cards have to say. And we're black. Let's go ahead and see what the cards have to say about the situation. And then I've got to go ahead and get to my client. If you'd like a reading, contact me once again at 703-791-9162. Alright. Here is the link to get a reading if you guys want a reading. Or here's not the link. The link's in the comment section below, but here is the flyer if you all want to contact me with information for a reading. Thank you for cleansing and clearing the energy of this deck. Many past reading in the name of the Mother, the Daughter, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen, amen, amen. Spirit, give us clarity and insight on whether or not Cameron Diaz had anything to do directly with what happened to Jamie Foxx with his medical crisis. Did Cameron Diaz have anything directly to do with Jamie Foxx's medical crisis? Did Cameron Diaz have anything to do with Jamie Foxx's medical crisis? Did Cameron Diaz have anything to do with Jamie Foxx's medical crisis? I get the Five of Cups as the first card. Once again, I feel like Cameron initially had some. What's the word I want to use? She initially had some trepidations or hesitations about moving forward with doing this project in the first place. Um, with the Five of Cups, this is a card of someone being upset or disappointed about something that's gone wrong. but not realizing the blessings that they still have ahead of them. I get the Ten of Cups connected to money, finances, and personal belongings. This could be a family of people working together. I get the Five of Swords connected to thoughts, communication, and the mind. The Four of Cups connected to emotions, family, and the home. Did she have something directly to do with this situation? I'm not getting that energy so far. I get the Four of Swords, the Knight of Swords. What is Cameron's zodiac sign? This would be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or Virgo person. A knight is typically someone between the ages of about 20 to 45 years old. Maybe 50 at the most, but 50 could be pushing it. What is Cameron Diaz zodiac sign? She's a Virgo, so this could be Cameron. Says here she's a Virgo. Alright. So this definitely could be Cameron then. Alright. What is she facing? The Knight of Pentacles is facing the Knight of Swords. This could be a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, or Libra person. So one of these people definitely could be Cameron. The other person could be someone else. Was she the one? Did she have something directly to do with the situation? I get the King of Cups facing the Knight of Pentacles. This would be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio person or male, someone with male energy, someone who's probably mature in age or a bit older. I get the Wheel of Fortune connected to travel, relocation. I get the Six of Swords connected to the past. Did she have something to do with it directly? I get the Devil card connected to working within groups of people. And the Chariot card as the last card. Did she have something to do with it directly? The Devil card could be toxic relationships, toxic energy. I'll say it this way. I don't think she directly was the cause of what happened to Jamie. But there may have been something where maybe at times she wasn't providing like a solution, or she wasn't necessarily positively affecting the situation. I'll give you an example. Like, say, if tensions are high on the set, and Jamie's sick, or Jamie's, having a meltdown or whatever he's going through, yeah, that might piss Cameron off and she might say something, whether she says it to Jamie or behind his back, and whether it gets to Jamie, maybe that could add to his stress or his tension or his, health issues. But it's like a much smaller thing than what is really going on here, right? So I don't see that she's a big like reason as to why this happened to Jamie. I don't get that energy. I think tensions could be high on the set though, and she definitely would have an opinion about it. All right, but there's something with her where she's also good at kind of shutting her mouth and focusing on her work, keeping her head down. So I feel like she kind of had that energy with her too. The Chariot card could be forward movement. It could be travel. It could deal with maybe tensions were high specifically when there was traveling involved. Maybe specifically to London or the UK, for example. Um, so I definitely get a connection to travel, which they did travel for this movie. Um, but I've gotten a connection to travel quite a lot in these readings I've done on Jamie. So there's definitely a connection to travel because I'm getting it even with Cameron. Alright? But was she a direct cause of what happened to Jamie? No. Was she having conversations about Jamie? Would she get frustrated? Whether it be with Jamie or, just the whole situation with the set in general? Yes. Did she have conversations about Jamie? Most likely, yes. Especially if there were difficulties on set, specifically with him. Alright? And maybe that's why I was picking up the energy about, like, people kind of giving her advice to, kind of not say anything to stay out of it because of maybe certain quibbles on set. Let's ask that question. Did Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz have an argument on the set of them filming their movie? Oh, we got a few cards fall out. We got the Eight of Swords, which can be a card of Restrictions. It can be a card of someone feeling stuck. I get the Knight of Wands. This could be an Aries, Sagittarius, Leo person. The Nine of Cups and the Two of Pentacles flying out. Mm, do they have an argument? They definitely may have been coming from different perspectives. They definitely could have been coming from different perspectives in some way, in terms of like how they approach doing the movie, or yeah, their seriousness or professionalism about the movie. Like they had different approaches in regards to that. I get the Three of Cups, which can be a card of celebration. Did Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz have an argument? Keep having these cards flying out. The same Knight of Pentacles flies out. Did Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz have an argument while on set, or disagreement while on set filming their movie this year in 2023? Back in action. I get the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is a relationship that involves contracts. It can involve money. It can be a business relationship. The Fool card shows up connected to money and finances. I think they both were about their money. They both were about their bag, to be honest. They both wanted to make a good movie and get the paycheck. I get the Three of Swords connected to conversations of the mind. I do think there were some frustrations with each other. Three of Swords can be third party energy. It can be, once again, frustrations. Yeah, I think they did have disagreements or arguments or not seeing eye to eye moments at times. The Five of Swords shows up connected to emotions, family, and the home. I think they definitely probably had some quibbles. They get the Nine of Swords connected to creativity, self expression. The King of Cups is facing that card. This would be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Virgo male. The Three of Pentacles, which can be a card of negotiations, shows up. I get the Two of Cups connected to change, evolution, and growth. I think at the end of the day, there's something where they were still able to come to some sort of resolution together. I think they have a semi close relationship where if one, like if Jamie has a meltdown, or Cameron has a meltdown, it's like, yeah, they may say something to, fellow coworkers or their team behind their back, but they also at the end of the day will go up to each other and be like, hey, can I talk to you, or can we, can we have a moment to talk, like, we need to have a one-on-one. But I don't think they always saw eye to eye. I think at one point they did have kind of a heart to heart. But I feel like once again things maybe got worse. Yeah, I think these two had quibbles. I definitely think Jamie and Cameron maybe had quibbles with one another. They may have had disagreements or arguments or not seeing eye to eye. They maybe, definitely had frustrating moments with each other. Whether it be with Cameron towards Jamie, or Jamie towards Cameron, or both, vice versa kind of energy. All right, interesting. Let's see. How does Cameron feel about what's going on with Jamie Foxx right now? Because we've never really heard her side of the story. How does Cameron Diaz feel about what's happening with Jamie Foxx right now, currently, in his medical crisis? I get the Six of Cups. How does Cameron Diaz feel about Jamie Foxx? I think once again she does care. I think she has been in contact with his people or his family or him himself. The Eight of Cups shows up connected to money, finances, and personal belongings. It is kind of up in the air as to what things, like how things will be moving forward in terms of her money or her projects, because I feel like she had things tied into this movie. that maybe were paid projects or appearances, maybe that involved Jamie himself or something like that, that are now kind of on the chopping block, possibly. I get the Four of Cups. I feel like she may also be getting some conflicting information, or she may be getting her own private information directly from the source or sources, but then she may be confused as to, like, well, why am I seeing this in the news headlines in the media, kind of thing. I get the Strength card, so I feel like she's in contact with his family in particular. Alright, because the Strength card shows up connected to family, home, and emotions. If you guys don't mind, give me a moment to text my client. Luckily, let me just go ahead and text them on my iPad real quick. And let them know I'll be calling in about 20 minutes probably. I'll be calling in about 20 minutes. Please have your questions prepared. Thanks. Thank you. I'll put thank you. It's more polite. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish up this reading. I just texted my client. Let's see. The Empress card shows up connected to confidence, ego, purpose, generosity. We get the Page of Cups connected to work, job, daily routine. This could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or Virgo young person. Facing the Hermit card connected to one-on-one relationships. Facing the Two of Wands. So I don't know if she's necessarily in contact with Jamie himself. She could be in contact maybe with the family. Or she could be in contact with the family through her team or his team or that kind of thing. I get the Knight of Cups. King of Cups. King of Cups has shown up more than once. These both would be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio people. This could be also a Sagittarius. This one could be a Capricorn maybe. The Justice card and the Ten of Swords is the last card. I think if Cameron knew, and maybe she should have got a reading, Cameron. Maybe you should have got a reading, child, before you agreed to do this movie. I think if Cameron knew that, and maybe she did get a reading, but maybe the psychic didn't see this coming, I don't know. Or the astrologist or whatever. But I feel like there's something where, if she knew this was coming, or if she knew how bad this would be, she would have never signed on to do it. It's kind of like she stabbed herself in the foot, or got stabbed in the foot kind of thing. And it's kind of like the energy of, her saying, like, I've gotten, stabbed or hurt in the foot before with this kind of thing. So I don't want it to happen again, and it's like she goes into the situation and the same thing happens again. And it's like, this is exactly what I did not want to happen kind of thing. I think she genuinely cares about Jamie, but I think she's also just kind of like fed up and annoyed, not with Jamie, but just the whole situation. And I feel like even for her, as someone who is working on a project in real time, or was working on a project with him in real time, there's even no answers for her. It's like there's no answers maybe for her as to when he'll be back to work. What are we going to do? How's the script going to go? Like, am I going to have to come back for rewrites or refilming? It's like, there's something where things are so up in limbo with her. It's like, I don't want to... It's like with her energy, it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not what I signed up for once again. So she's frustrated. There's so many things she wants to say that she can't say. She also knows the truth. I feel like there's something where she also knows the truth of what happened. Or to some degree, she knows the truth, I will say. I would say if anyone out of all the people I've read so far who knows the truth of what really happened to Jamie, Cameron knows the truth as to what really happened. Let's get the final card. We got the Letting Go card. Letting Go. It's a 13 card. So this could be connected to the number 13, which could be the next 13 days, 13 hours, weeks, or months. Alright? Or the 13th could be important. I think today's the 13th, is it not? Today's the 13th. It's May 13th right now, actually. Let me show you. See right here, it says May 13th on the bottom of my screen, the calendar. Cool. It says releasing the past can seem like a challenge, but it can also be liberating. Your angels will help you let go so that you can fly higher than ever before. Endings always herald new beginnings. Choose to allow this situation to lead you to a more joyful life. Change your life by changing your thoughts. So I think there's something, I think that's the approach Cameron is going to have with the situation. I think Cameron's going to be as far removed from this as possible. Because this is not what she signed up for. She did not sign up for the spectacle of it all. And you know what I'm talking about if you've watched the readings I've done on Jamie over these next several weeks, over these past several weeks. Spectacle is a big factor here. Alright? Alright, y'all. I will sign off on that. I've got a client to get to. Thank you all for being patient with me as I pump out these readings. I hope this was able to give you all some clarity and insight. Once again, if you want your own personal reading, I am available. Do not hesitate to text me. If you want a reading now, I do same-day readings, so don't hesitate to reach out for a same-day phone reading, okay? I also do mediumship readings and past life readings, which also have same-day priority, okay? So I will catch you all later. Love and light. God bless. Thank you all for listening and watching. Keep in touch. I'll talk to you in your own personal reading, or I'll talk to you in the next video. Either way, I will see you soon. Love and light. Psychic with a T, the psychic with a T, that's me, that's me. The one with the T, the one with the T, that's me, that's me. When the planets align, spirit speaks on time, that's me, that's me. When the planets align, spirit speaks on time, that's me, that's me. When the trolls be gone, candle work be strong, that's me, that's me. When the trolls be gone, candle work be strong, that's me, that's me. I don't care what the others say, let's channel some energy today. I don't care what the others say, let's channel some energy today. Capricorn, Virgo, Libra strong, this tarot card reading about to be long. Capricorn, Virgo, Libra strong, this tarot card reading about to be long. Psychic with a T, the psychic with a T, that's me, that's me. The one with the T, the one with the T, that's me, that's me. When the planets align, spirit speaks on time, that's me, that's me. When the planets align, spirit speaks on time, that's me, that's me. When the trolls be gone, candle work be strong, that's me, that's me. When the trolls be gone, candle work be strong, that's me, that's me.